Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.
We're so excited today. We are sitting next to Brianna LaPaglia. The reason we're here is to announce that we're doing a collab.
Yes, and we're wearing it. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm like, I want to show everyone right now. I've been like too excited. It's been hard for me not to tell or show anyone.
We've been stoked. And also, transparently, I have a huge confession to make.
What?
We met you at the People's Choice Awards.
I remember meeting you guys.
Oh my God.
Wait, you guys thought we were chicks in the office, right?
She remembers.
It was me and Grace.
I will never forgive myself. And Tori went up to you guys, and I literally was like, oh yeah, like I just like casually was like, that's chicks in the office. So it was my fault. And then when she said it, I was like, holy shit. It was like the worst moment of my life.
Yeah, I would think about it for the rest of my life too.
And then when we reached out to about the collaboration, the response was so quick. So I was like, oh my God, she doesn't hate us. Thank God.
No,
Like,
I didn't even think twice about it. It's fine.
I was like, she either hates us and like won't respond to this at all, or she'll forget about it and she'll totally respond.
We
I
were
didn't
hoping that
care.
you forgot.
No, I remember now. I honestly
Shit.
did, but now I remember.
Okay, well, we are so sorry. Like,
It's
genuinely,
okay.
that was the worst moment of my
Yeah, we
life.
definitely owe you guys an apology.
You are forgiven.
Did you know about Boys Lie before?
Yeah, I didn't know. I've worn Boys Lie before. I think I got it at like Urban Outfitters maybe.
Oh,
nice.
Or I used to wear a Boys Lie's hat, and I didn't even know what the brand like was.
Yeah, everyone loves the truckers.
Yeah, and everyone was like, I love your hat, where is it from? And I was like, oh, it's from Boys Lie. But I didn't know you guys were like the face of it, or like you guys created it. And then like I slowly started seeing you on social media, and then I saw like, obviously, I mean, I'm an idiot. Obviously, Boys Lie, I know what it means, but like I didn't know the messaging behind it or the podcast or anything. So then I fell in love with it. So I'm like really excited for this.
Yeah, we're so excited too. And also, we've been getting so many DMs. Like, I can't even tell you, every single day, it's like, you guys should collab with Brie. And we're like,
Me too. I'm like,
we want to.
I'm like, delete. I want to send you pictures.
I know. We've
I
been
know.
wanting to hint it out so hard.
It's so soon.
Yeah. So we're dropping this collab on December 13th. You guys will all be able to get it.
Yeah.
It's a pre-order situation because
Yeah.
this was like very last
Quick.
minute put
So
together.
quick.
We're shooting actually the campaign tomorrow, and this is the first campaign where we're not taking creative at all. We gave Brie the entire reins for this. Do you want to explain what we're up to?
Yeah. Okay. So I really like to be involved in like all of the creative direction and like directing and stuff. I just feel like it's more genuine when you're doing
I
it.
love
and
it.
you're
I
behind
love
it.
it so
Yeah.
much.
And these are really important to me, like these pieces, the sayings on it. So I wanted to do something like funny, but also cool with hot dudes in it. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. At first, I was like, I want to be a teacher of some sort. Like I want to be teaching men how to treat women in a classroom or something. And the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe I could be like a coach. I was like a life coach or something. Then I'm like, hot hockey. Hockey players are hot. Why don't I be a hockey coach? And then I was like, okay. So I had this idea where I'm basically the coach. You guys are my assistant coaches.
Yeah.
And like I come into the boardroom. It's all the hockey players in the room. And you're like, coach is coming. And I'm like, really strict coach. And I come in and basically they'll be in their sweatsuits. And if they get a question right on like how to treat a woman, and they're going to be funny questions like, can your girl wear this dress to the Golden Globes? And then, and if they say no, then they don't get promoted to a jersey. They have to stay in the sweatsuit. And then if they get it right, they get the sweatsuit. And then I was like, what about a friggin' hot montage of them just playing hockey and like pouring water all over them? And it's just going to be a fun, silly, I think a video for this is just cooler than straight
I
up
agree.
photos.
For sure.
It's so relieving too having someone take reins of the creative in general. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love designing the pieces too. Just watching the podcast leading up to this has
Yeah.
been insane between BFFs and just having so many people behind you as like such a
Yeah.
strong
It's so
support
cool.
system.
Like the sayings on these are so impactful and important. Like they mean so
Yeah.
much more than anyone would ever know.
I'm
Yeah.
also happy you're not going through tattoo removal.
Well, no, it was mine. He
yours.
stole it
Yeah,
from me. So
yeah.
I'm just like, no, bitch, it's mine.
I know,
So
and it is.
I had this tattoo for like, what, 2.5, 3 years. So
I love that tattoo. And honestly, I love the meaning behind these pieces. And like on the back of that, it says,
I'm stronger than a
stronger
weak
than a weak
man.
man. Yeah.
And the front says "fuck your money" because, well, you know.
yes.
That was an iconic line. We were watching the BFF spot, and I think I forget who said it. It was either Josh or Dave, and he was like, "Fuck your money, we're going to war." That's what you text them when you're like, "I'm not going to take it."
Yeah.
Also, receiving that type of text from Dave Portnoy, I would shit my pants.
Yes,
I
like,
know.
quite
He's
frankly.
the best person to have in your
He's
corner.
crazy. I know. They helped me. I mean, even recording that podcast episode, I like blacked out mentally. I was so scared. We had recorded a week prior to that, and I scrapped the episode because I was still just so like scared of saying
so
anything.
fresh, too.
So fresh.
Yeah.
And then like finally I got the courage the next week. I'm like, okay, I think I can do it. And that whole time, like, I mean, you can see it. I'm just like visibly, I don't know.
Shaken,
And I don't even remember recording it. So to have all those lines come out of it, I was like, oh, I kind of crushed. I don't even
No,
remember.
you
it.
ate
that
I was
up,
like,
by the way.
I kind of had some bars, but I didn't even remember.
Yeah, you did. You really did.
It was
I got
back
chills.
to back. No, even when I was doing the designs and I was sending you certain quotes, I'm like, there's so much to pull from this.
so
I
It's so
know. I was
insane.
like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. I was proud of that.
Well, you look amazing, by the
Yeah.
way.
Thank you. I feel and look so much better than I did when we recorded that, or I mean, even just a week ago. Every week, things just seem to be getting better back
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
No, and I admire that so much. I think
Yeah.
our audience too has been watching you clearly, and like
Yeah.
how transparent you've been about the growth process that you've been going through, whether it be like tears or laughter,
Yeah.
and even confident ones like sexy like
Yeah.
videos that you'll post. It's so important, and I think there's one thing I would like to ask you is if you could now give yourself advice looking back on things, what would you give yourself as advice, and what would you give our audience as advice?
I think looking back on the whole situation, you can never get years back and you can never get time back. And if you are going through something like that and losing yourself to someone, there's not a person, a place, a thing, a price tag that is worth losing who you are for, because you only have a certain amount of years. Like, there's no getting time back. And although it was only a year and a half, that was like a crucial year of my life. Like, I was 24, my career was peaking, and I threw it away for someone. And ultimately, obviously, like, I think it was worth it in the end because it made me a stronger person and things like that. But I think advice is, if you're losing any part of yourself or pieces of yourself, it's not worth it.
Obviously, like the brand that we have, Boys Lie, like we created it because we both went through really shitty breakups kind of at the same time.
Are you guys best friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
We grew up together, like
Oh,
down the
okay.
street from each other.
We've known each other since we were like 12. We're 30, so it's been a long time.
I love this. Okay.
Yeah. Not to say like everything's been easy. Obviously, like when you're starting something with your best friend, there's like highs and lows, but our situation is very weird and unique. Like, it's also taken a lot for us to get to like where we are now. And I think we've been in a very solid place for like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You're growing up together is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also just the business aspect of it. There's a different type of relationship that you have with a best friend versus an actual partner.
It's really
Yeah.
hard to mix
So hard.
best friends and work.
And
Yeah.
in any
Yeah.
relationship, there's compromise. Like,
Yeah.
don't lose yourself. I agree with you entirely.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel like is a piece of yourself you do compromise for someone else a little bit to be
Yeah.
like, I can relate to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's worth it and the person's worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, like we're literally in a marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, literally.
But what I was going to say is that when we were going through that too, like I don't think we had TikTok at the time.
No.
But if I had somebody to look at, like you, like going through what you went through and like just like coming out so strong and so positive, and also just like fuck everything, like I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna tell my story. I wish I had that, because I feel like we had each other, and that was honestly how Boys Lie was born. But I wish I had somebody like you to like kind of like look up to. So I'm sure you've inspired like so many people to hopefully get out of anything that's like not for them.
Well, I was sobbing this morning. All of the messages just make me cry so much, because I came forward because I knew it was the right thing to do. I did it honestly for me, and I didn't realize the impact of it because I didn't know so many people went through this, because no one talks about it.
Yeah.
So coming forward, it's really cool because not a lot of people have a best friend or a support system
Yeah.
or someone that's going to believe them or family that's going to listen to them. So I can be that for them. But even this morning, I got a DM, and he was like, hey, a dude here, but you actually mended me and my little sister's relationship and helped us talk more because of your talking points. So like, much love to bringing us closer. And then I posted that on my story. That made me sob. I was like, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
And all these dads just started responding, like, now I have talking points with my daughter. I had my daughter watch your podcast. I sent it to my sister. I sent it to my mom
I'm gonna
because she
start
went through this with
tearing
my
up
dad.
now.
No, if you saw my TikTok this morning, I was fucking bawling. I'm sitting on the toilet bawling. It's just, it feels so rewarding. It's worth way more than $12 million just to have like a clean
100%.
conscience and to actually like know that you're helping people is, I don't know, it's priceless.
Also, your career hasn't even peaked yet, and you
No.
are just at the height of going on up from here.
I feel like I'm just at the height of figuring out like who I am and what I want, and once you figure that out, it's like everything falls into place.
Yeah.
So I think it all happened for a
Well, you
reason.
are like super creative. Like, do you ever want to get into like a more of like directing type of like
That's the
role?
goal. Yeah, writing and directing.
Yeah, because you do like, is it poetry, I would say, almost?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
really
I write
cool.
a lot. I'm working on a book, but I've been working on a book for a while. I have so many different avenues, and now with all of this, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I want to switch it up and write about my situation. So I don't know. Yeah.
Would you do your book with audio? I feel like people would love that.
Well, I would have to, right? Because I'm a podcaster.
Yeah. I feel like it's necessary.
I know. I love a good audiobook.
Is there anything like the media maybe got wrong about your story and like your just what happened with you that you'd want to clear up?
I think what was cool about my situation was like I was the media. I was the media outlet. So I was the one that put my story out. I was the one that gave all the facts, and I was the source of everything, really. So of course things got twisted and like manipulated or like used as alleged, and that just annoys me. But I don't think many things got twisted. I don't really read anything. I'd rather not. And I think like my outlet of it, like my podcast episode, my stories, my TikToks were like the biggest source of everyone's information. So why not take it straight from the source, you know? And like he didn't say anything. So.
No, and you've been putting boundaries around it too, and that's something I admire greatly, because you've been like, I'm not ready to talk about this yet, but I will get there at some point. And even if you like you don't owe it to anybody to also get there.
Exactly. Where I'm at is like I painted a very clear picture, and if you don't see it, then it's not for you. And like I don't have to go into detail because things are forever online, and you know.
Look, I can think of 12 million reasons why you're not painting a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You've really handled the situation just so well, and like honestly, like it's everything you've done is so brave, and like we all applaud you for it. And
Thank you.
I'm excited for everybody to also like wear this and like kind of wear their hearts on their sleeve too.
I know, it makes me cry. Like everyone's getting the "How Lucky Are We" tattoo that have like been through abusive relationships, and it's like they're reclaiming themselves, and I'll cry thinking about it. It's the coolest thing ever. And it's like, it's just so cool to see so many people rally behind something. And like, it's so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than him. It's like, this is a real thing people go through. No one talks about it.
No one talks about it.
I'm glad that I fucking did. And like we talked about a little bit at the beginning, how I'm posting, I don't know, I'm happy, I'm glowing up, but I'm also crying. Like, it's not linear, and I think that's important too. Like, every time you like step backward, you think you're only going backward, but I feel like it's almost like you're stepping into a slingshot and it's bringing you forward.
And it's hard, like getting over just anything in general, like whether it be a breakup with a friend, a breakup with a partner, like it's something that really just fucking rocks your world beyond belief. And like, it's so hard when you're in the middle of it to like understand that you're actually going to be totally fine, whether it takes a couple of months, whether it takes a year, whether it takes 5 years. But it's so hard to understand that, like when you don't believe it,
because it truly feels like the end of the world. And especially like in the situation I was in with a narcissist, it's like they truly make you believe it's the end of your world, because they make you feel that they're all you have, they're the best you're ever gonna have. And it's like this self-doubt thing, which after I got out of the relationship, like it was like the lowest points of my life. Like I was like, this is the end. Like, I'm never going to be anything. I'm like, who am I going to be now? Because you don't know who you are when you get out of it, because you're just so like wrapped up in trying to entertain this person and like get the validation from them. You're like, what the fuck do I do now? Because all of your energy was in that person, and you don't know where to redirect it. But I was lucky enough where I think people are looking at me and asking me a lot of my DMs how I've snapped back so fast. And I think it was because I haven't really talked about this part online. I like touched on it, where I made video diaries throughout the relationship, like why I should leave. So it wasn't like a total new thing for me. Like I was realizing this for like the past 6 months. So it was a little easier for me at the end, because I had kind of been like trying to plan an escape. So like I knew it was coming. I felt it. It wasn't like a immediate thing. So if this happens to you and it takes you a lot longer than it took me, it's because I already kind of knew.
I also want to note too, like you say, like, oh, it was only a year and a half. When you get into a serious, even if you get into a fender bender, right, and you hit someone's car, you feel like 30 seconds is 3 minutes.
Felt like 10 years.
It doesn't matter how long you've been in a relationship with somebody. It's really about what you got, like what you're going through, what you've gone through with them.
It's really hard. And there shouldn't be there's no like rule book on healing or like how long it's going to take or how long you should or can't or not talk about it. It's like it's what you went through. You can feel it or talk about it for as long as you want. It's your story.
Yeah. Did you have like a good avenue of someone to vent to when you're going through it?
No, I've talked about this a little, which I think is the worst part about it, and what a lot of people get stuck in is I was embarrassed because I knew I was going to go back. So I was like, And I was like self-aware. I was like, this is bad. Like he's treating me poorly, but I love him. And like, if I tell my family this, I tell my friends this, I know what the response is going to be. And I don't want to fucking hear it because
if you want to go back, you don't want them to judge you even further.
Yeah. And it's like, that part is annoying for me. Like, I'm like, if you have to hide things from your family and friends.
I mean, I was in a relationship, and it was when me and Tori's relationship was kind of like not the greatest, because I was with somebody who was very controlling too, and I didn't even want to bring him around my friends and family because like I didn't know how he would act.
But it'd be tough for me because I'd be like, dude, I want to fucking hang out with you. Like, can we hang out? Whether like he wouldn't really want her to hang out one-on-one with me. That was like one of the things that made me so aggravated too. Just being like, can we not go to dinner together, to the two of us?
That happened with me and Grace.
And I was like, if you want us to like go to dinner, the three of us, like that's cool and all. Like I don't mind, and it would be to a point where I think she felt shame because I mean, I didn't like him, and I was open about that, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to like be around her.
I also knew how he got when he drank, and like you saw a little bit of him, and I almost like secluded myself from my friends
to protect him.
And like, because I like knew that it was wrong for me to be with him, but like I didn't want to have anyone in my ear. It's such a weird thing that you go through.
I totally relate.
I think it's more like a shame thing. Like, and you shame yourself because you're already going through shame from this person, and then you consistently re-shame yourself because you're like, I don't want to bring them forward with me. I'm not embarrassed, but like I feel insecure about it.
It's a horrible perpetual cycle of you're just constantly a punching bag in your own mind, on that person's mind. Then you're like, is my family judging me? Do my friends hate me? It's so isolating.
Well, especially if you're not ready to let go.
And when it's a narcissist too, it makes it like, it amplifies that feeling.
It's like you literally become a shell of a human being. It's so, I watch my videos back from this past year. It's really hard for me to do, but like it's kind of like it kind of makes me feel good in a way, because I can look in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, I've changed so much already. But I look back and I'm like, there's nothing behind my eyes. Like I am just I'm just there. It's so crazy. You're just like surviving.
You look like you're full of life now.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I can't. I wish I like thought to video myself during those times too, because I don't.
I don't.
Crazy. It's hard.
But it's also like when you get back, how it's not linear. When you get sad again, it's like you look back at those and you're like, oh fuck, no, I'm good now.
Yeah. But it takes. I feel like you have to be like at a certain mental state, which you are now, to actually rewatch those things, because like you can't.
It's triggering. Yeah.
You can't do it.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. And I think that it is going to still be a grieving process for you, even, I mean, as long as it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm terrified. I'm like, so I haven't been single since I was 16. I am like a relationship girly. Like,
so we're the same.
Yeah,
you guys.
Yeah, like 100%. Since I was 16, dated a guy for 2.5 years, then dated the next guy for 3.5 years, dated the next guy for a year, dated the next guy for a year and a half. Like, I'm a lover girl. I'm just like, I like to be in a relationship. I like to take care of someone. So I'm, for the first time, like, I don't want a relationship. And I'm so scared to ever be in one again now. Like, and I only dated good guys before that. Like, I was never on the fuck dudes train. Like, I had a really good intuition and a good read on people. And I've dated really great men. And this guy just fucked it all up for me.
Don't be scared. Trust me. Like, and it's really good that you're being single now.
Yeah.
There's no rush to, obviously, like, whenever you're feeling ready to do it, like, jump back into whatever, or jump into whatever you're ready for. But, like,
I know. Okay, so I just got freshly single for the first time ever. So people are coming out of the woodworks that are like, and I'm like, fuck, I'm being presented with a lot of good opportunities.
I know. Yeah, how are you choosing?
And I'm like, I have a roster, but like, I'm not like, I'm not,
I love
like,
a good roster.
I'm just like texting them all, and I'm like, fuck, did I tell this person that or this person that? But like, they're all like probably doing the same with girls. So I'm like, it doesn't matter.
For sure.
But it's really stressful. I don't know if I can do this.
I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of crazy, like, celebrity DMs right now. Yeah. Anyone that you're like, woo?
Yeah, I'm like, one of my crushes. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell anyone though. Because I'm still talking to him, and I'm like, maybe.
That is so fun. You really have, like, the world is your oyster right now. You have, like, endless opportunity. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I know, it's fun.
And even if you do, like, end up in something sooner than what you thought, there's nothing wrong with that either, by the way. I hope the world knows that. No judging.
Yeah, like we said, there's no rule book.
You can, like, get out all the things that you're going through in your creative outlets, and I think that it's, like, a really cool way that you can do that.
Yeah, well, I'm, like, truly just focusing on work now because I, like, completely abandoned my career this last year, and I'm really, like, mad at myself for that. And this, like, we just booked the next, like, 5 months of I don't have time for a boyfriend. And that's exciting and that's fun. And like I'll meet so many cool new people through that. And like the past year, I didn't meet anyone new. I was just like with the same fucking person on the same fucking bus every fucking day.
I'm so excited for you,
Yeah.
honestly.
Even you guys, I would have never met you.
I know.
And you guys wouldn't actually know who I am now.
Yeah, thank God. Also,
Fuck my life.
literally, I'm still going to go to bed thinking about it. And just
No,
being
I'm just
like,
joking.
No,
I'm
it was
myself.
terrible. Like we were talking, like, should we bring it up? Like, do you think she remembers?
No, that's so funny. That's so funny. You have to bring it up.
What is next for you? Like anything cool that you want to announce that you're doing before we get into story time?
Everything cool that I'm doing, I can't fucking announce yet.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Because
okay.
when does this podcast come out?
The
The
13th
13th.
on the drop.
Next week.
No, I get a lot of cool stuff coming up. And you'll know in January.
If there's anything that you do have and you want to like let us know, we could like insert.
I mean, I'm like so excited about this. This is like the only collab I'm doing, have done. So like I really wanted to
Yay.
do one thing. Everyone wanted me to like make all this money off it. I'm like, no, I want to do something I care about.
On that note, let's jump into story time. If you guys have a story you'd like to share on the Boys Lie podcast, please share it via boyslieofficial.com. And if your story gets chosen to be read on the podcast, you get a free sweatsuit.
Woo. Yep. All right,
right.
here we go. First story.
Here we go. We got 4 pages, guys. This is practice for my audiobook. Okay. I've been listening in for the last couple of months. Little did I know my life was about to turn into a boys' lie story. I moved to a new city after college about 2 years ago. A year into living here, I had made a small friend group and also met a man that I dated for the last year. Naturally, I introduced my boyfriend to my friends, many of whom are other men. They became close, and I was glad they liked the guy I was seeing. Before meeting this man, I hadn't had sex for 4 years and avoided men at all costs because of some weird personal stuff that happened to me.
It's a long time.
That is a long time. I've had 3 boyfriends before this guy, all at least 6 months. They were great guys who treated me well, but this guy felt different. That being said, I really like spending time with him, and I thought he would be a good reintroduction to men/dating. However, I knew things were off. He'd asked me to hang out all the time, but never moved to make it official. A few months into hanging out, I basically asked what we were, and he said, "Oh, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that before." L-O-fucking-L.
Oh my God.
It was especially weird because this wasn't a booty call situation. We would hang out all weekend, every day, climbing, going for walks, going to the movies, skiing, etc., and multiple times during the week. He would always make an effort to see me, buy me little candy, show affection, all of that stuff. I was okay with this dynamic at first because I wasn't looking to get into anything serious, and this was a nice way to slowly reintroduce sex into my life. This changed when we were getting ready for work one day after he had stayed over, and he called me his girlfriend. I was like, "You have a girlfriend? Literally, who is she?" He seemed confused and was like, "Yeah, wait, what?" I guess he thought we were together. So then I started to allow myself to catch deeper feelings for him, even though some things were weird. For example, he always asked to use condoms when we had sex, even though I had an IUD. I noticed he unmatched me on Hinge at some point. Text notifications would never pop up on his lock screen, and he also never really initiated sex. It was confusing.
Wait, pause. Do you think that if a guy's always asking to use condoms after you've been having sex with them for a couple of weeks, it's a red flag?
Look, I went to ASU. Nobody ever used a condom. I don't know.
I'm gonna say
I was gonna say, I always
I've
use
always
it.
been in a relationship, so I don't know
Yeah.
that. But I would assume that's a red flag.
Well, yeah, because I would think, I would think that he was sleeping with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you constantly want to use a condom and you're consistently hooking up with someone for months, that's
And she had an IUD.
Yeah, like she's
Yeah.
not getting pregnant. So
Yeah.
like that's yeah.
Don't love that. Okay. So also on Valentine's Day, I showed up to his apartment and there were flowers, a box of chocolates, and a bottle of Veuve sitting on the counter. The gag was I noticed there was a heart sticker over the top of the Veuve label. I didn't say anything about it that night, but I took it home and peeled off the sticker. Lo and behold, the label said, "Happy Holidays from John at XYZ Company." He re-gifted me this bottle from work, motherfucker. I sent him a pic of the bottle with the peeled off sticker and said, "This is so interesting." To which he responded, "That's why I put a sticker on it. What do you mean?" I didn't respond until he FaceTimed me the next day to apologize. Anyways, I work an intense job in finance, but he'd still make time to see me during the week. One Wednesday night, I had to stay late at a celebratory work dinner, so I was 2 hours late showing up to his place. He was being sweet and lovey-dovey when I got home, but when I went to the bathroom, when I couldn't open the trash can, it smelled like sex. I found a used condom, and I couldn't figure out if it was from the last time we hooked up. I told him to sit down and asked why there was a used condom in the trash can, and he said it was from the last time we had sex. I grilled him, and he denied. He then asked how I felt about our relationship, and he was like, "I really like you, but I'm about to turn 30, and we're at different points in our lives, and I think we want different things in life." I cried, he held me, and we went to sleep. The next day was Thursday, and his birthday was on Friday, so this was awkward timing. He had planned to grab drinks with my friends to celebrate his birthday, because at that point, they had become his friends too. I decided on Thursday we should break up because I wasn't in a good place personally, and I was going through job recruiting and thought it would be better to focus on myself for now. So I texted him to talk about it. He responded an hour later and said he wanted to take the day to think. I said, okay, and we pretended everything was fine on his birthday. I paid for everything and tried to make him feel special, but then at the end of the night, he told me to come up to the bar to get a drink, and I thought he was going to pay because I had paid all night. And when he didn't move to get his card, I was like, are you going to pay? He then looked me dead in the face and said, it's my birthday. At that point, I broke down crying. We go home and he apologized by saying, I'm sorry that what I said made you feel that way. I didn't mean it like that. Whack as hell. The day of his birthday, Friday, I had gone to therapy and she basically said to talk through things with him and emphasize that you don't always have to pull away from someone when you're going through a hard time. You can lean on people, so I thought maybe I could in fact have it all and stay with him and work on myself too. I decided that instead of breaking up with him, I should talk to him and try to work things through. I now want my $150 back from this appointment.
I would too.
The Sunday after his birthday, I initiated a conversation and poured out my feelings, and he broke up with me. He said he was grateful for me. It was the healthiest relationship he's ever been in, and hope we could maybe climb together again someday. The fuck? I was devastated, but also had job interviews I needed to get through over the next couple of weeks. So I hunkered down. I was terrified of failing these interviews, but pushed through to get a job. And I got a job offer. Yay. After I accepted and my time freed up, I realized I hadn't heard from my friends in a while. Long story short, I realized they had all been hanging out with him and excluding me. I reinserted myself into the group and told them I was upset that they had been excluding me. I also made sure that they knew I didn't care if my ex hung around. I had a newfound confidence and was feeling fine about everything. I also started to hook up with a different guy in the group who I always thought was hot.
Good.
Everyone hated it. Yeah, go Besh. And everyone hated it and told that guy not to hook up with me because bro code. But one night he spilled the tea. He said it shouldn't even matter because my ex told all of them he never actually cared about me and is now with the girl he had met before we dated and also talked to her the entire time we were together. He also said all my friends have been hanging out with my ex and the new girl too.
Oh, good.
But
the
see, and like,
fuck?
also this piece of it, it's like just break up with her then. Like you can't break up with her, but you're gonna brag to all these other bros
Her
to be
friends?
like,
Yeah.
to be like,
Her
oh, I never even
friends.
liked her.
Like and you weren't even, you called her your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You weren't even like what
does
the
that make you
fuck?
feel good, dude?
No, I can't. I feel like I've been in this situation.
Like, what the fuck? I was really upset because I thought my ex was a good friend at the bare minimum, and I decided I wanted to confront him about it. I conveniently ran into him at the climbing gym the next day. He tried to avoid me. I went directly up to him, and I told him I knew everything, and I wanted him to say it to my face. He said, I have no idea what you're talking about. None of this is true. I haven't heard from any of my friends since I confronted him. It just sucks that he would do something so awful to me, then also go and steal all of my friends. What a piece of shit. I really wonder if he truly lied about liking me for over an entire year. Moral of the story. Boys lies, and your friends will too.
Shit.
Oh, on the other hand, I'm moving to LA this coming summer for my new job, and I'm from Orange County, so I'm excited to be heading home. Plus, I'm breaking 200K at 25, which feels good.
Damn.
Good.
Yes, queen. Lastly, my mom is from Philly, so we've always been an Eagle fans, and I have to say it was fun to watch the Eagles rake his team, Dallas, across the coals a few weeks ago. Hashtag
yeah.
get fucked. Hashtag go birds.
Aw.
Birds.
Yeah, we're from Philly.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
so go birds,
Philly,
yeah.
Philly people are awesome.
Damn. I feel like I want to rewind to go back to the situation where she was like, I walked into the bathroom and it smelled like sex. Like that is
Also, like if that's a
so-
condom that was aged, like that's gross.
That's
Like clean out your fucking
gross,
trash can. That's like
yeah.
a sanitary issue at that point.
Oh man, but like that means I think he was probably fucking the girl that he ended up being with after her, like maybe in the same day.
Oh, in the same day.
Like poor girl, and like I feel like as a woman, like your senses and everything about like you know
Your intuition
like,
is always right.
right. And she's
Yeah.
been in that bathroom probably many of times,
Yeah.
and so she's like, this stinks. Like
Yeah, and in like a
something-
weird, like you know what, like
You know
your
what the
sex smells like you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like if
exactly.
it's something you're like, wait, what? This wasn't
your
me.
body can sense it's not you.
Yeah,
So
your body
that's
knows before you know.
fucked. I would like actually like throw up. I think.
I mean, I had an issue with an ex like that, where it's like
Tell it.
we
Oh, is this that story? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
What? Oh.
No, this is so crazy.
We
like
were-
gross.
long distance, basically because I was in San Diego and he was in LA. And one weekend I drove up to see him, and we're
no.
hooking up, and like right when I go to kiss him, I could just smell like girl parts, like, and I was just like
no.
that. I know that smell.
When
like,
she first told me the story, she's like, I could smell a cookie. And I was like, oh, who's eating cookies? She's like, no. Like,
No, like that cookie.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was like, what?
Did you say something?
No, at the time, no, because I was like, I'm going to embarrass myself. And also the relationship wasn't the most healthiest
That's
of
fair.
relationships.
Yeah.
So like I was like
And
not
also-
going to challenge it.
And also, I was just be like, yo, your beard smells like vagina.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
crazy.
And when you're mid-kiss.
I was just like
Oh.
so confused.
But then you just want to like go to the bathroom and puke because you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely knew, and I knew that Leah didn't like him either, so that definitely made it like
Yeah.
a bit of a
Yeah.
challenge.
And
so
you
I
didn't tell
never-
me until like literally like last year.
I know, 'cause
and
it was
she
one
broke
of
up with
those-
him like 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's like
Yeah,
one
she
of those
didn't tell
things that
me.
makes you like internally,
Sick.
yeah. You just don't know when you're ready to tell that type of truth.
Yeah. I feel like in like 5 years, shit's going to come spilling out of me. And I'm like, I can say it now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
like secondhand glitch because
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I can do this. I can do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, we probably also like blocked it out.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
because that's like traumatic.
You're like, that's a past life.
Yeah. Also, like,
Sick.
wash your fucking face.
Yeah. Like,
If you're
ew.
gonna cheat, like, it's the least you can do.
Like, at least be smart about it. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's crazy.
I'm
Wash
just
your
dumb for not
beards.
saying anything.
Disgusting. You are a very strong woman.
That's one way to put it, for sure.
Okay, here's the next story. I want to start off by saying that I pride myself on being one of the top information finder-outers of this generation. And for the first time in my life, I was stumped. I'm 30 and met this man, 38, in November 2023 while I was at work. And then she said, I work at a venue and his company was hosting an event there. We chatted, he got my number and instantly pursued me, asking to fly me out and see him when he traveled, since we lived in different states and he traveled weekly. We added each other on social media, but no female in sight. We discussed why he was single, and he said he was picky, and that was it. We lost contact for a few months, and fast forward to June 2024. We reconnected, and he immediately started FaceTiming every day/night with his family and friends around as well, and introduced me to them via FaceTime. We planned trips together, and he was discussing me relocating to Philadelphia or him relocating to Texas so we could be together and start a family, even going as far as sending me house listings. I noticed he started getting weird about a month in because he wasn't answering FaceTimes at night, etc., and I asked if there was someone else. He said no, he was busy with family/work. And a few weeks later, in August 2024, he bought me a plane ticket to come spend the week with him in Kansas City as he was there for work. While there, we went to a concert and I had a woman take pictures of us. Later that evening, I noticed that the pictures were gone from my phone. I asked him if he deleted them while I was in the shower because he had the password to my phone, and he swore up and down that he didn't. We get into a huge argument over it, and he opens up to me about how this girl broke his heart a few years prior, and she lied to him, so he would never lie to me.
The excuses are so crazy to me.
Don't even get me fucking started on the excuses.
Men cannot do confrontation.
They can't be wrong.
But, like, if they're drinking, like, at the same time, like, if I was drinking at the concert, and, like, I got home and maybe I was, like, a little bit still drunk, and, like, I saw that they were gone, I'd be like, did I do that?
Yeah, they can like trick you into
Yeah.
thinking you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's crazy because we're just trusting.
I know.
And we want the best.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he blames it on the girl, but she says, I returned home the next day, still a little on edge about how weird the photo thing was, but thought maybe that I was going crazy. It gets better, though. We continue to communicate daily. He sends me flowers, plans trips together, and I still couldn't shake the feeling that something was up. I've searched this man so many times on every site possible, searched all of his family's pages, and couldn't find anything suspicious. The only thing I found was a photo of him and another woman on his mom's Facebook from before we had met, and I asked him if I was his rebound, and he said no and claimed that I was making things up. Okay. Fast forward to October 2024. I searched his name again, and I noticed a new home address came up with a purchase date of August 2024. I thought that was weird since he didn't tell me that he moved, and that would have been right when he flew me to Kansas City. I clicked on the address, saw another woman's name on it, and searched her. Lo and behold, it was the girl that I had seen in his mom's Facebook post from before we met. I Googled her name, and their wedding website came up.
Oh.
They are getting married in a few months and had gotten engaged and bought a house together 2 weeks before he flew me out. I immediately messaged her. Oh, shit. I immediately messaged her on Instagram and I told him I did this and this is where I messed up. He immediately got her on her page and blocked me and deleted the message. I'm not sure if she ever saw it, but this is a reminder that boys lie.
Oh my
I
God.
hope she sees this.
Holy shit.
Damn. Okay, ladies, if you're going to find that shit out, don't text the man that you did
No.
it. Like,
Yeah, don't ever do that.
shit.
Don't narc on yourself.
If you know her name, maybe we can just send her this story and just
Honestly,
save her
yeah.
because she should not be getting married to this person.
Yeah.
Flying someone out as you're engaging someone,
Buying
proposing
a
to
house.
someone.
He's been cheating on that woman the entire time that they've been together too.
Yeah.
And her.
And I bet you this isn't the only woman either.
No, there's got to be more.
Yeah, that's just how they always are.
Yeah, if he's deleting photos, this is not his first rodeo.
The deleting photos is crazy.
That's diabolical.
And then he fucking gaslighted her into thinking that like the pictures were never even saved on
And
her
that she was
phone.
crazy.
The confrontation's nuts. It's so nuts.
Let's like save this woman who's gonna marry him because
Yeah,
this is a
send
recent.
us her
this is
name.
recent. She said October. That's like last month. So
Yeah, they probably didn't even get married yet.
I don't think they have. So like this winter, you know who you are. We'll reach out to you, but like maybe we can reach out to her because I personally I would want to know.
I would want to know.
expose his ass.
or just help the woman. Like let's help the girls.
Let's save her.
I'm happy you figured that out because
Yeah, at least you weren't engaged to him.
yeah.
Holy shit. I couldn't even imagine if I was engaged and like that
And then
was going
finding
down.
that
No,
out.
me
Yeah.
neither.
And your wedding's like the next month.
Let alone married, but like I'd rather find out in the engagement
Me
process,
too.
not the marriage process.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Jake was my first serious boyfriend and was my type to a T. He was very muscular, played basketball, was Catholic, and drove a truck. LOL. We started dating in March 2020. I was a sophomore in high school and he was a junior. And 2 months into us dating, he started sending me screenshots of skinny blonde Instagram models or even girls that I went to school with telling me that this was his type and that's what he wanted me to look like. I was 145 pounds, 5'3", and had brown hair with little highlights. I developed an eating disorder which lasted for about 2 years. The September after we started dating, he is now a senior and I'm a junior. He went to, what is this, App State?
App State, APP State.
Appellation?
Oh,
Oh.
is it?
Yeah.
They just like abbreviate it to
Oh,
Okay, got it.
Smart. We didn't.
We're
know that.
learning.
Yeah, okay. He went to App State to visit his cousin and to go to a concert. While he was there, I got a DM from a random girl that said that he was flirting with every girl and made out with multiple girls and went home with one of her friends, and that he was bragging about the fact that he was doing all this while having a girlfriend.
Ah.
I just like don't get that high. Like I don't get
Like
that high.
who is like, good one,
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Like who's like, that's
He's
sick.
like sick.
Oh my god, so proud of you.
You're like, what?
Anyways, I asked him about it and he made up this elaborate story that she's his cousin's roommate's crazy ex-girlfriend, and so I believed him. I was in love and stupid. During the next 4 months, he continued to make comments about my body and would also comment about other girls' bodies when he would be with me and say how hot they were and how he would want to fuck them.
What the
I hate that.
fuck?
I had a guy that I was like in a situationship with who would always comment on my best friend. Her name is Lily. Shout out Lily, you are so hot. But he'd always be like, Lily's so hot. And I was
hate
like,
that so much.
What
why
the
are you
fuck?
saying that to me? Like,
Is that like a weird tactic for
I
them
don't
to like
know.
Manipulate you further?
yeah, to be like, oh, I want him to want me more.
but it made me really upset, obviously.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
makes you want to cry and be like, actually,
All right, I'm jumping back in. Whenever I would try to bring up how I felt or talk about feelings in any way, he would scream at me, cuss me out, and call me degrading names, and once told me that my dad would be proud of him by the way that he spoke to me. The following January through May, I was in the peak for my eating disorder. I lost over 40 pounds in 5 months, lost all my muscle, was severely depressed, and just going through it. So in February, I finally told him I was starving myself, and he goes, well, whatever you're doing is working, so keep doing it.
kill him. I want him dead. This one deserves to die.
Yeah.
I mean it. He's a monster
No,
on living
seriously,
fucking earth.
monster.
No monsters allowed in our princess castle. We keep
Agreed.
saying that.
Facts, big facts. Over the duration of our relationship, I progressively got more highlights to become more blonde for him. And once I mentioned that I wanted to dye my hair darker, he hit me and yelled at me and told me that if I wasn't
I was right.
blonde,
Dead.
yeah, by summer, then he would break up with me. The summer going into my senior year of high school and his freshman year of college, we were going to the beach with his friends for a week. I started eating normally again, so naturally I was gaining a little bit of my weight back, and 3 weeks before the trip with his friends, he told me that I should start eating like how I was eating before, so not eating, so that I would look good for his friends. After the beach trip with his friends, we went to another beach to meet up with my mom and stay there for a few days. This is important later. The last week of July and first week of August, I was a camp counselor at an all-girls sleepaway camp. I didn't have my phone on me 24/7, but we were still able to talk throughout the day and call at night. The third night I was there, we talked on the phone for over an hour, and I went to bed and woke up the next morning to see that I wasn't his number one best friend on Snapchat anymore. I called him and asked who took my spot, and he gave me a name and sent me a screenshot of his entire best friends list. He had unadded that girl that took my spot, before he sent the screenshot, but all the other spots were other girls. I looked up each girl on Instagram and followed them, and within 30 minutes I got 4 DMs from these girls asking if Jake was my boyfriend and how long we had been dating. I looked up the name that he gave me of the girl that took my spot, but she wasn't real because he gave me a fake name. These girls told me that they had been texting with him and flirting with him for over 4 months, and that he had been sexting them and sending them nudes and was doing all this while I was asleep next to him on the beach trip with my mother. Oh my God. After I gathered the screenshots and these DMs, I sent them to him, and he called me crying, and I told him to tell me the real name of the girl that replaced me, and so he did. So
He called her crying. Why do they all cry so much?
They cry when they get caught, that their lie and their cover-up.
But then when they're telling you you're disgusting, then you're crying, they say, why are you crying?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know, because you're an evil fucking monster.
No, they cry, and then the second you give in and you're like, okay, I forgive you, then they're like, oh, actually, never mind.
Yeah.
Like, I swear it's like a fucking game.
It's
the
a
whole thing.
It's a fucking mind fuck of manipulation. So I followed her and I DM'd her. She told me that he told her that he could see himself dating her and that he could see himself having a future with her. On the same phone call, I asked him if he had cheated on me that time back in September when I got the first DM, and he denied it twice and then said that he did because he, quote unquote, hit a dab pen and thought it was a vape, so he got so high.
It's happened to me before.
I then took all the screenshots and DMs and sent them to his mother.
Oh.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, like, okay, what are your thoughts on getting family involved? I want to say, like, prefacing that we've had a lot of stories saying I told their mom, or like I told their sister.
But some of the moms know that their sons are pieces of shit.
Some of the moms have helped.
I was going to say the family's always going to choose their family. So it's like, is it even worth it? Maybe dependent on the relationship.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's like, it's not, you're right. Like, it's not going to do anything. It's
they're
not like they're
never
going to
pick you. Yeah.
But I think people do it just to be like, oh my God, this felt so good. Like, I told their mom, now they're going to not have the same idea.
Or maybe
about
it's
their
more so their
son or
like,
daughter.
Yeah.
Their son is going to spin some sort of lie about you to be like, she was a horrible girlfriend.
Yeah.
She did this. And like, they want to make sure that their name is in the clear, regardless of what the son would say.
That's true.
Or daughter would say. I don't know which one, but yeah.
We had one story submission like a while ago, and they were saying that the mom was helping the son like sneak girls into the basement. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was
and like
insane.
help him cheat on his current girlfriend.
So those are the moms that like want to fuck their sons.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's
too much.
so many of that. I'm like, what's
That's
going
so
on?
fucking strange.
Like, boy, mom, but you have 3 daughters too.
Yeah, like, and also you can't be that obsessed with your son.
No, it's weird.
But like so many moms are so obsessed.
It's-
with this.
yeah,
like, they
it's
think
so
they can do no
weird.
wrong. Oh my God, my high school boyfriend, his mom used to like come into the room, and like we'd be like hanging in there, and she would sit on the bed. She'd be like, "How handsome is he? Like, is he not stunning, gorgeous?" And I was like, I mean, like, yeah, like that's why I'm dating him. Like, yeah, he's so hot. And she'd just like go on and on. I remember just being like, kill me. Like, this is terrible.
I can't sit here. This is gross.
No,
Like,
it's like,
gee, Susan, thanks.
Yeah.
so
yeah,
much.
her name was Susan.
Oh my God, it was.
Her name was Susan, and you know her too. She was obsessed with her son. And you know what? Like, I hope one day I will be that obsessed with my son, but it's way too much. It's like,
Yeah, don't be creepy about it.
no.
Don't be creepy about it.
Okay, before we wrap up, can we play one little game of fuck, marry, or kill?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what are we throwing our way?
Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. I love playing this game. Let me think.
Yeah, Leah's really good at this game on the spot. I just can't
Wait,
do
yeah,
it.
I'm not really good on the spot, but
Yeah.
I'll try.
Okay. Pete Davidson, Dave Portnoy, or Morgan Wallen.
Oh, fuck. I would marry Dave.
I would too.
would fuck Pete Davidson. I know everyone wants me to fuck Morgan Wallen, but he's like a bad guy too.
Yeah.
Like, kill Morgan Wallen. I was just singing his
Bye.
song, so
Yeah. I would also
I'm not
marry
like a
Dave.
fan.
I think I'd do the same.
Yeah.
I would marry Daddy Dave. I would.
Daddy Dave.
Wait. I don't know who I'd kill. Who would you kill?
I would jump off the roof of this building.
None. Well, on that note, this was so fun. We're so excited about our
So
collab.
fun. Me too. I'm so excited. You guys are the best.
Yeah, you're the best too. And go get it. Go shop it.
Go
It's out
shop it now while it's
today.
still available. Woo!
On that note, buckle up.
Enjoy the ride.
And remember that.
Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Yay.
Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie, y'all.
Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.